Fire Radio, and this is Let me whisper in your ear. That's it. Baby, gets me right and clear. All the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. That's it. Turn off the lights, pretty baby. Put on some make love song. Turn on the noise, baby. Play me some Southie soul. Mahanja mzani panda mahanja. Let me whisper in your ear, baby. Gets me right and clear. Oh, nikushike, 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 baby, nikushike. Until you say until you say yeah, yeah. Baby, let's get in the room. Hey, you with a little smile. I wanna see the light just shining in your eyes. You know what to do. Wali wanazi baby. Yes, karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. And of course, this is the Black Hot Fire Network Media of the 21st century. Shout out to Anto Zonte, ICL Net in the building, karibu sana. Shout out to Willie 254, karibu sana. And I wanna kiss you tender and deeper. Let's make it tighter and sweeter. Let's make love tonight. I wanna kiss you tender and deeper. Let's make. La 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 la.
Yes, karibuni sana to the African Diary Show. I'm hoping you're doing great on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. It is exactly 23 minutes past 2 p.m. right here in Nairobi. You can as well let me know what is the time on your end and how is your Thursday so far. I see Dr. is with us. Thank you very much for tapping the screen for me as we get to continue or as we get started with our conversation of the day. Shout out to all those who are with me on the radio station, to all those who are just joining us on Facebook, on YouTube. Karibuni sana once again. I hope you get to enjoy this amazing conversation right here with you guys. So, as we get started, I started off with an amazing jam. That was Sauti Sol. The jam is Nikushike. I hope you did get to jam onto it. And Nikushike means let me hold you. It is Swahili. That is a Swahili word that says let me hold you, or I want to hold you. Shika is a hold, so let me hold you. But anyway, karibuni sana once again, and on today's episode we shall be focusing on Kenya, and the Kenyan president has done it again. You know, he never fails in disappointing Kenyans. He never fails in selling out the country, so he has done it again. And actually I'm even receiving some in the news that the Kenyan government is supposed to send 1,500 farm workers to Israel amid Hamas war. And this is crazy. It is crazy. But anyway, apart from that, we shall be discussing about Ruto getting 38 point something billion billion Kenyan shillings, and in exchange of this, he is going to be importing. India is going to be importing cheetahs from Kenya just because they gave Kenyans a loan, and this is so crazy. But anyway, we are about to see more of this because there's a video I'm going to share with you that shows Mr. President William Ruto saying that why struggle and fight for the dollar while you can get Indian rupees. Why fight for the dollar while you can get Indian rupees very easily? So we are about to discuss a very traumatizing conversation, because this is traumatizing to Kenyans. Because imagine you're being lent and money to or the country that is giving you money is literally one of the poorest countries in the continent. This country is not even able to deal with the slums in their country, but they are giving us loans. It is so crazy, and at the end of the day, man, I don't know how many loans we need to fund Kenyans, but at the end of the day, Mr. William Ruto received this money and claimed that it is to boost agriculture, and it is insane. It raises a lot of questions, and also, we need to get to the real story to understand why are we exporting our cheetahs and getting money from the Indians. Why are we exporting our cheetahs and getting money from the Indians? Are we selling our cheetahs? Are we selling now are we selling our wild animals? This is so crazy. It is so crazy. Shout out to Wagidongo. Pewa kazi. Mi niko kazi, bro. Imagine I'm earning while you're yapping over there. Ati niambie serikali nipe kazi. Bro, you're the one una kazi. You're so idle. You're coming right here to yap when I'm busy working. Imagine I'm working, I'm earning, and you're busy right there yapping. Man, some of you are crazy, and this is why you don't even understand what is happening to your country. You're just like, a new tax. Man, don't be stupid. But anyway, family, we are going back to one more jam. I'll be back with our quote of the day. Keep on interacting with us, and also do let us know what is your quote of the day, what is your motivational quote of the day, or maybe some wise words you'd love to share with us. Remember, we're coming to discuss more about Kenya, what is happening with Kenya getting Indian loans, and also why are we exporting 500 farm workers to Israel. It is crazy, but yes, we are exporting 1,500 workers to Israel. But anyway, family, let's go back to one more jam. I'll be back with our quote of the day. In case you have a quote of the day, feel free to share your quote of the day. This is Isabella. Get to jam onto it. Remember to come back with your quote of the day.
Greetings and salutations, Max Hughes and Andrew Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive. Stay tuned.
Hey Isabella, how you gonna come and dance with me tonight?
Somebody's asking which station is this. This is the Black Hot Fire Network Radio, media of the 21st century, and of course, this is the African Diary Show. My name is Katie. In case you'd love to listen to us via the radio station, all you have to do is go to Google Play Store, download the Black Hot Fire Network application. Once you open it, you are able to hear us loud and clear.
Stars look beautiful outside, so beautiful. Tell your mama I said sorry, I didn't bring it home early last time, and I was a little busy. I know she doesn't miss me, so put down those shoes that I like, and we'll go and dance the night away.
My quote of the day says, don't give up because you had a bad day. Forgive yourself and do better tomorrow. Don't give up because you had a bad day. Forgive yourself and do better tomorrow.
Yeah, because
you only live once, so
and me, I
wanna have some fun. Kunja mifupa kama meno iko.
Up and away we go,
and spend all my money on you, baby.
Cause I can't take it with me.
I know some people like Jerome Mosquito think I'm disturbing their day because I'm singing.
Tonight,
we are young.
And in love.
Anyways, welcome back. That is Soul the Jam. Is Isabella. I hope you did get to jam onto that amazing banger over there. And as we get started with our conversation of the day, remember today we're focusing on Kenya and mainly on Kenya and India. And why is Kenya getting a loan from India? Literally one of the most poorest countries we know in the globe. Why are we getting loans from India? Anyway, before we even get to that, let's discuss about something that I've just seen right now, and this is crazy. It is crazy that Kenya is set to send 1,500 farm workers to Israel. And remember, in Israel there is a Hamas war. But Kenya is sending 1,500 farm workers to Israel. The Labor Ministry has said the announcement comes nearly 2 weeks after Malawi sent 221 young people to work on Israeli farms, triggering a backlash against the government. And casual workers will be deployed on 3-year renewable contracts with a guaranteed net income of $1,500. The Labor Ministry added, and this is so crazy. Wagidongo, I'll just block you. I don't want your nonsense right here. You want to marry me? Do you think you can be able to marry me? Just leave. So, what I'm saying is that Kenya is sending 1,500 farm workers, and we saw in Malawi after the president of Malawi came and said that he has cancelled all the trips to reduce the government expenditure on trips, and he sent his citizens to Israel on Israeli farms to work on Israeli farms. And remember, this is a place where there is a war. This is a place where people are dying every day. And right now, this is the Kenyan government. And the other time we saw the Kenyan government going to Germany in a trip where he said that he has gone there to secure 200,000 job slots for Kenyans. So what is really happening? These people, they come to us with an agenda of, I'm going to create employment for you guys. But this is the employment they're talking about. Imagine being sent, you are being sent away from your country, and not only away from your country, in a troubled, nation, in a place where there is a war. Can you imagine? It is so crazy. I still don't understand what is happening in right now in Africa, because a lot of people are just like, what is happening to Kenya? What is happening in Africa? And most especially, remember I told you we have countries like Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria. They are being called pilot countries nowadays. And do you know why they are being called pilot countries? Because they are the sellouts of Africa. They are actually on the lead of selling out Africa. So why are we sending our workers to Israel? Well, we know very well that is not a stable nation. That is not a place where these people will be guaranteed safety. Why are we sending them there? It is so crazy. It is so sad. And I'm so sure that there are so many people right here in Kenya willing to go. And the reason is poverty. The reason is heavy taxation in Kenya. Remember, right here in Kenya, we have a lot of people suffering. We have a lot of people going through a lot. We have a lot of people not even eating, going days without food. And this is why you'll find a lot of people willing to take that opportunity and sacrificing themselves to go and work in Israeli farms. But what is leading to this? It is because of poverty. But now, why our government being used to export us as laborers to foreign nations? Well, we know very well that in these countries, these are actually the countries we are not accepted in. These are the countries that they don't love us. Why do we have to go and work there? Why can't you create employment in our country? You remember there was a time our president launched the bikes, the walking stalls, or the bikes that had movable stalls. And from that day, I've never seen any in operation. I've never seen any mobile stall. But he said that I am launching these mobile stalls to increase employment in our country, to curb unemployment in our country. But since that day he rode on that movable or a mobile stall, we have never seen any. We have never. So what is this you're saying you're creating you're creating employment while you're sending our people to troubled nations like Israel? We know very well the Israeli themselves are struggling to live there. They're actually fleeing from their country, but you're sending our Kenyans, you're sending our Africans to that country. We saw Malawians coming and fighting heavily against this, but you know, at the end of the day, it's the president, it's the government that has said that we are going to send workers to Israeli. So you're not going to do anything. You will not do anything. And by the fact that now the Kenyan government has followed, remember the Kenyan government right now is being known for number one labor exporters or labor exporting, because one, the president went to the Arabic nation, the Gulf, the Middle East, in Kuwait. He said that he has secured how many jobs for Kenyans. The other day we saw him going to Germany. He said that he's looking forward to secure 200,000 slots for Kenyans. Today he's saying that he's going to send 1,500 Kenyans to work on Israeli farm. So what is the type of employment is this? What is this? What madness is this? But Kenyans, who are we not to speak? But Kenyans, why are you not talking about this? And why is nobody talking about what is happening in our country? Your government came here. Your president came here. They campaigned with the whole agenda of creating employment and curbing unemployment in the country. But what is it doing? Exporting laborers. So what will that help with even the economy? What will that help? Because I believe for us to continue stabilizing our economy, we must make sure that the money we are working for is flowing back to the economy. But now if I'm sent to work in Germany, my money is flowing in Germany's economy. So how is that beneficial to our country? It doesn't make sense. And this is so sad, and I'm hoping that Kenyans will come against this. But you know, even the cases, if they go to court, they are just postponed for a few days, and then after that, they are given a green light. You can go ahead and deploy workers in Israeli farms. And this is so sad. It is so sad because, one, they are putting your lives in danger. But we have Kenyans who are willing to go. It is always like that. No matter what is coming from those countries, no matter how many videos you'll show Kenyans of Israelis dying and the war in Hamas, they will still want to go there. And it's not their fault. You cannot blame them. Sometimes it's poverty. They rather go and sacrifice their lives and make sure that now their families are not suffering right here in Kenya. So it's poverty. It is poverty. We cannot blame this on Kenyans. But I see MC Kiari in the building. Karibu sana. Shout out to Isaac Karuma. I don't know why you're asking what I'm saying, but I'm talking about Kenyans exporting farm workers to Israeli, and more than 10,000 migrant farm workers, mostly Thailand nationals, have left Israel since the start of the war with Hamas in early October. So, what makes you think that you will survive if others are fleeing? Israel has also barred Palestinian workers who made up nearly 20% of the agricultural labor force prior to the war. And Israel's agriculture ministry told CNN last week that the country needed 30 to 40,000 farm workers, and the announcement has sparked mixed reactions in Kenya, with concerned about the workers' safety. Yeah, you have to be concerned about that. How safe are you going to be over there? And is safety guaranteed? Of course, it is not, because we have people fleeing from the country. So why do you think, or why are you thinking that your safety is guaranteed while even Israelis are freeing the country? It doesn't make sense. But at least 32 Thai farm workers were killed and several others taken as hostages when Hamas attacked Israel on 7th October. Critics have also questioned the conditions of the workers will face in Israel. In 2018, a BBC investigation that found that many migrant farm workers in Israel were subjected to unsafe working practices and squalid unsanitary living conditions. Some were overworked, others were underpaid, and there were dozens of unexplained deaths. So imagine, this is so sad, because we are going to see our Kenyans going, so willing to go. It is so sad. You can see, this was in 2018. There was an investigation that came out, or that found that many migrant farm workers were being subjected to unsafe working practices. Others were living in unsanitary living conditions. They were being overworked, others underpaid, and dozens of unexplainable deaths. So you as a Kenyan, you still want to go there. You as an African, you still want to go there. Don't you see that this is a mission of or this is something that the government is doing under the water without you knowing it, but it is a mission. Because tell me, why do you think that the government would send its citizens to a war-torn country, to a troubled nation, to a country where even its citizens are fleeing and seeking a refuge from different countries? Why do you think that now your safety is going to be guaranteed just because the government has announced that it is taking you there? This is so sad. It is so insane. And I'm hoping Kenyans will come against this and say no, because we don't want to see more people dying. This is how we will continue losing the Kenyans population. Remember, we have already sent our troops to Haiti. Yes, that's a bunch. We have our people in the Middle East. That's another bunch. We have the ones that we have Ruto planning to send others in Germany if he secures those 200,000 slots. That's another batch. So we have these 1,500 going to Israeli. What if they all die? I'm just saying, what if? I'm not saying that they will die. What if they all die? Don't you see that the Kenyans population is in danger right now? Man, we need to wake up. We need to open the third eye right now. It is high time we use the third eye as Africans, but we are just docile to realize what is happening. Shout out to Sylvester, shout out to Ken, Roy, Edwards, asante sana, and to all those who are just joining us. Make sure you're tapping the screen and you're interacting with me, and tell me, what do you think about Kenya's mission to send 1,500 farm workers to Israel? And at the time, as we continue, right groups like Human Rights Watch have also previously raised the alarm over Israel's treatment of foreign farm laborers, especially if you're a black foreigner. At the time, Israel denied the accusation and has since said that foreign workers have the same employment rights as Israeli citizens. Some Kenyans have supported the deal, saying it provides badly needed jobs, and at a time when Kenya is battling an employment crisis and the rising cost of living. Kenya has an employment of 5.5% according to the World Bank. This is so crazy, but the right way to create employment is not sending your laborers, is not sending your citizens out of the country, actually out of the continent, and telling them I'm providing you with employment. This is so bad. It is so bad, and this is also another version of slavery. If you don't see it like that, it is another version of slavery where you are exported as a slave by your government. And of course, the zakat the government is receiving, they cannot do this for free. The zakat they are receiving from Israeli's government, maybe Netanyahu's government, who knows? Because I don't believe that they would do this just for free. Why do they need to export laborers from Kenya? This is another way, another method of slavery. But we need to stay woke as Africans. We need to understand what is really happening. It started with Malawians. Right now it is in Kenya. So we don't know how many African countries are going to send their workers to Israel. But at the end of the day, we need to wake up as Kenyans. We need to start saying no to such deals. Because why are you allowing yourself to be exported as a laborer? It's slavery, my guy. This is slavery. It's like the way back in the days we had slave buyers who used to come to Africa and just buy people, and now you become their slaves. And just because you've been bought, the government just gave you out. Now you are supposed to work in any condition. You are a slave. And you know what goes on with the slavery. I'll not continue with that topic. It is disturbing and it is so bad. But at the end of the day, We need to stay woke as Africans, as Kenyans, and we need to say no to more of this. As we get to continue, I hinted about our main focus of the day, and of course, this is about our President William Ruto selling us out again. He has done it again, and I feel like this man never gets tired of selling his people out. He's going to do it again and again and again. So what has he done this time? President William Ruto received 38 point something billion Kenyan shillings, and in return of that, he is going to export cheetahs to India. The Indians are supposed to import cheetahs from Kenya. But anyway, that is not even the point. I have a video of President Ruto saying, why struggle for the dollar while you can get Indian rupees? Simply, why struggle for the dollar while the Indian rupee is easily available? So tell me, is this person a real person? Is this person a person with the mentality of even growth? Is this person a real president? Man, this, Ruto is doing, somebody told me, maybe Ruto is going cray, but nobody's talking about that. Because what is this? How do you go and borrow in one of the poorest countries globally and in the name of to boost agriculture, in the name of you're struggling for the dollar, but now you need Indian rupees? Damn, this is crazy. And even more of that, Ruto, this one is crazy. He removed his shoes. He walked. Let me get it right. Ruto removed his shoes and walked with his socks to honor Mahatma Gandhi during his visit in India. President William Ruto paid tribute to India's political and social activist Mahatma Gandhi at his memorial Rajat. And the president removed his shoes to show respect to the fallen hero, and observation made by every visitor visiting the memorial. Can you imagine your president removed his shoes, walked in his socks in honor of an Indian who is dead? Anyway, that's not the point. Let me share this video where our president is talking about we don't need to struggle with the dollar while we can get Indian rupees easily. My screen real quick so that you get to tell me what are your thoughts regarding this, because I feel like now we are at a point that we shall be waking up like this. The Indians are demanding like this, the Chinese are demanding like this, the whites are demanding, and everybody is demanding. We shall get to a point that our blood will be sucked to a point that you're just waking up and falling dead. It's so crazy. But shout out to General Cargo, shout out to Show, shout out to Padhiv Kikani, and shout out to Mr. Blackout Fire and Teardrop. I see you as well. Karibu sana. Let me share my video real quick so that we get to understand what our president is. Okay. Here is my screen. If you guys can see my screen, so that you're together. This is crazy. So crazy that our president is selling us to a point that we are being sold to Chinese, to the Indians, to the whites. Where do we go? At this point, we are just like, where do we go? If we are being sold everywhere, where do we go as Kenyans? But anyway, his words were, why look for dollars when we have a facility in Indian rupees. That were his words. This is my video. Enjoy. Kindly tell me what you think about your president, and also kindly do let me know, do you think that now we are at a point that our Kenyan president is even selling us to the Indians and also the Cheetahs as well? Because this was a deal signed, and after that we saw that now the Indians are going to be importing, they are going to be importing cheetahs, wild animals, cheetahs from Kenya. Anyway, enjoy the video.
And now to a Vantage exclusive. Kenyan President William Ruto was on a 3-day state.
Maggie, asante sana for joining me. Okay, here is my video.
And now to a Vantage exclusive. Kenyan President William Ruto was on a 3-day state visit to India, his first trip to the country as president. Before he left for home, we sat down for an interview. And he spoke about a whole lot of things. His equation with Prime Minister Modi, whom he calls inspirational terrorism from neighbors, on the Indian model of growth and why the developing world wants to emulate it, on de-dollarization and currency diversification.
He's trying to say that we need to de-dollarize and get and rupee-larize. Is that what he's trying to say? We need to do away with the dollar and start using the rupees. Man, this man. Anyway.
And a more democratic United Nations Security Council, its own story, and engage with the world as a partner, investment, not aid or donation. Ground. To India, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for our visit to India. And, I'm truly grateful to the government, President of India, for receiving me and for all that we've had. And I am very confident that it's going to be a new chapter in
with him.
We had a wonderful conversation with Modi. I have a lot of admiration for Prime Minister Modi, the way he has managed to...
He admires everybody.
And the way he is focused on matters that affect common people. And the way he believes, like me, in bottom-up, trying to do what benefits the majority of citizens. And India has made huge strides in making sure that they can do government service efficiently, cost-effectively, and also eliminating bureaucracy and pilferage and corruption. That is precisely what I want to do in Kenya. When I consulted many professionals, they told me the place with the best tested is in. And so we are using an experience in our digitization of government service, in our the same way you have it here in India. I had a wonderful experience with Prime Minister Modi. And as I told you, he's a great inspiration, he does. And of course, I was asking him, well, it's tough, doing things for 50 million people. I don't know how he does for 1.4 billion. It's quite something.
What did he tell you? He answered that.
He gave me some tips, not for the media.
Not for the media.
Yes.
A few decades back, the developing world was looking at Western models of development and of growth that were to be emulated. Do you think that now the India model is something that countries like Kenya and others resonate with more?
Well, we all share the same history.
What?
India was a British colony.
History do we share? Anyway, I was going through a certain conversation. It was still an interview of our president right here, talking about the same things, and people were like, this man just knows how to talk. He knows how to talk. And he will talk and talk and talk and talk because he knows how to talk. But what history do we have in common? What is in common between our history and India's history? Because it doesn't make sense. And also, anyway, let's just listen to the whole interview and then we shall come back.
Just like Kenya. And India was ahead of us. And so there is a lot of quality. In fact, that's what I was saying yesterday. There is a lot of commonality between India and Kenya. It's easier for our Indian experience because we can relate to it. Yes, it is much more comparable. It's much more easy to learn from what India has done. And we are sharing experience. There are a few things India will learn from Kenya as we make this journey.
I'm sure. One of the key announcements yesterday was about fighting terrorism subject for India, because we've been at the receiving end of state-sponsored terrorism from a neighbor that was not just supported but also funded, first by the US and now by China. Do you think the international community needs to do more to call out such actors?
Terrorism is a global and is a crisis that affects many parts of the world. The same way India has, we have that have serious challenges of terrorist groups in Somalia, in various parts of our region. It's necessary that we build a coalition of countries so that we share experience, we share intelligence, we share information, we collaborate, we synergize so that we can deal with it, because terrorism has no border.
Is that something that you discussed, and you think that is one way to sort of get the proper representation that Africa deserves?
That's correct. In fact, I did commend my brother Prime Minister Modi for his efforts in championing the place of Global South, and specifically the place of Africa in the global geopolitics. It is here in India that Africa got the opportunity to be a permanent member of the G20. And we believe that that positioning is going to not only bring voice, but African perspective into the conversation.
You mentioned, and from the joint statement, I mentioned project financing in Kenya and Indian rupees. There's been a lot of talk of that as well, of de-dollarization. Do you see a future not very far away, devoid of the hegemony of the US dollar?
I think what we must not bring an us versus them, these versus the other. We have no problem with the US dollar. But,
So the currency neutral, as Mr. William Ruto says, is the rupee, the Indian rupee, and of which I don't agree, because one, if we start mixing ourselves up like this, we shall be owing them a lot at the end of the day, because why are we taking a loan from from India once again? And this loan is supposed to boost us, or to boost agriculture in Kenya. That doesn't even make sense. And also now he's talking about how the dollar needs an equal currency to it. Do you think that the Indian rupee is equivalent to the dollar? That doesn't make sense.
To diversify currency. For example, for us in Africa, we are working with the Afri-Exim Bank to have a pan-African payment and settlement system. Where at Afri-Exim is providing a facility $1 billion every year in a
Your fault.
So we are saying we want trade. We want to be currency neutral for us. The conversation I was having yesterday with Prime Minister Modi is that even the facility that will be extended to Kenya, the 280 million facility, we want it in Indian rupees. We can have that in India. From US Indian rupees.
Yeah, and this is so insane to a point that now this president is talking about right now we don't need the dollar to do the trade, but he's busy saying that we need to diversify. And to diversify, he means that we need to trade in the Indian rupees because it's giving us opportunity to do that, of which that is a crazy idea. But as we get to continue, let me read you something right here, and this is about the same thing. And India to extend a $250 million soft loan to Kenya and eyes its cheetahs and raises issue of missing nationals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that loan is meant to modernize Kenya's agricultural sector. India has also promised to urge Indian companies to invest in Kenya's agriculture sector. So, we saw it was 2 weeks back, we saw the government announcing that they are going to sell 35 parastatals, and after that, this is when we are seeing the Kenyan president in India getting money and saying that this money is supposed to boost the agricultural sector. And after that, now we are seeing that the Indians are being urged, the Indian companies are being urged to come and invest in Kenya's agricultural sector. Do you mean that when I go to Mwea rice, because it's one of the parastatals that is going to be sold by the government, I'll be finding an Indian operating? Do you mean when I go to Kenya Seeds to buy maybe courgette seeds and everything, I'll find an Indian operating the whole company because they have been told to come and operate and invest in Kenya agriculture? This is crazy. And I feel like this is really what is happening. So these 35 parastatals, and we have the Moya rice mills, we have the Kenya Seeds. Those are among the parastatals we are going to see being owned by Indians. But away from that, India on Tuesday said it would extend the soft loan million to Kenya for its agricultural sector, even as New Delhi looks to procure Kenyan cheetahs and raised the issue of 2 Indian nationals who went missing in the East African country in July last year. The announcement came following discussions between Indian Prime Minister and the Kenyan President, who is on 3-day visit to India for the first after his election in September 2022. The announcement I'm confident that President Ruto's visit will give new impetus or bilateral relations as well as engagement with the entire African continent, said Modi in his press statement. So, guys, we are exporting cheetahs and also welcoming Indians to come and invest in our agricultural sector. Do you think this is right? Do you think that it's right for you to go in the Kenya Seeds company to buy seeds, maybe spinach seeds, and you go and find an Indian is the one in charge of that? This is crazy. So this was the plan all along. It's crazy until you get to understand this was the plan all along. And I believe all the 35 parastatals, they are being sold to weird people. They are being sold to weird people because, one, why is an Indian being told to come and invest in agriculture in Kenya, while we are sending our own farmers to Israel. Why are we doing that? Or does it even make sense for you? Does it make sense anymore? It doesn't make sense. By the way, before I forget, I need to show you a video of President William Ruto walking in his socks after he removed his shoes. I want to show you this. I want will embarrass us. He will embarrass us, and he's not afraid of embarrassing us. He is not afraid. So he went ahead, removed his shoes, walked in socks in the name of, this is something that is done in India to honor Mahatma Gandhi. Lord, this is insane. And when have you ever seen any other president, leave alone even our own president, when have you ever seen any other president going to India, removing his shoes, walking in socks to honor somebody? Man, this is crazy. It is crazy. But anyway, Ruto will sell us out. Ruto will sell us out. No matter what, you like it or not, Ruto will sell you out. Let me share my screen so that you get to see what I'm talking about before I forget, and as we get back to our conversation. Okay, there is my screen. So here is your president walking barefoot. He's in his socks without his shoes. Remember, he has just removed his shoes and ready to walk. Without shoes.
President walks in socks in India. Kenyan President William Ruto respectfully removed his India. In doing so, the president expressed his respect and reverence for Gandhi's legacy. This is a tradition in the rules of visitation on the website. Ruto also participated in a wreath-laying ceremony during his visit.
I wanted you guys to see that. That's your president walking barefoot. And shout out to your president again. He will sell us out. He will embarrass us. He will get loans from India. And this is so bad. And by the fact that we allowed and accepted Indians as a Kenyan community, you're going to see the entitlement. You're going to see the disrespect that is going to come from these people. Now they will even pee on your heads. They will even step on your heads just because you borrowed money from India. I see an Indian right here asking me, you know, Mahatma Gandhi, what is your problem with India? I just don't like you and I don't like India. Shout out to Triple K. Shout out to Triple K. Thank you very much for tapping the screen. And I was reading something right here as we get to continue. And yes, I was talking about now the bid or the plan of Kenya to export cheetahs because they received money from Indians. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for the roses and asante sana. And shout out to all those who are with us in the building, the 5 of you. Make sure you're tapping the screen. Talk to me and tell me, how do you think, or what do you think about the Kenyan government getting loan from India? But he also stated that India will provide $250 million as a line of credit to modernize Kenya's agricultural sector. And as per a joint statement issued today, Kenya has also offered, in line with Kenyan laws, to provide land to Indian companies. What do you mean? Land to Indian companies and institutions for the cultivation of crops, including millets in Kenya. Well, so Kenyans cannot get land in Kenya because we have the government grabbing the lands, but Indians are so welcome and are being given lands for free by the Kenyan government to come and start agriculture and to come and start farming in Kenya. Wow. This is crazy. The Indian government, in turn, promised to urge Indian companies to invest in Kenya's agricultural sector, including equipment and technology. In total, 5 agreements were signed today in the areas of standardization, sports, culture, education, and digital solutions. Besides the joint statement, a separate joint vision statement on maritime cooperation in the Indian Ocean region was also released. Well, just because it's named the Indian Ocean, so now you have even an agreement and you have signed an agreement without the knowledge of Kenyans about the maritime. Damn, this is insane. Meanwhile, India confirmed that New Delhi was hoping to get cheetahs from Kenya. Speaking to reporters, External Affairs Minister Secretary Damu Ravi said that the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has expressed interest, but the interest came only today, so we'll have to take it up to them and pass on this request to them to see if there is a possibility for cooperation in that area. This is crazy. It is crazy, man. Okay, so we are giving a land. During Ruto's visit, we've seen in total we had 5 agreements that were signed. One of it is a standardization, sports, culture. So we're even borrowing Indian culture right now. Damn, I've never seen even Indians participate in sports, but in case you have, tell me more about that. I've never seen that. Education. What education are we getting from India? Damn. And digital solutions. Beside the joint statement, a separate joint vision statement on maritime cooperation in the Indian Ocean was released. This remains to be crazy. It is crazy because I don't understand. I see Michael is telling me Indians play only badminton, but your Kenyan president is busy signing sports agreement with India. Damn, this is crazy. And you wonder how Kenya is going? Kenya is not going anywhere unless we wake up and take it to the streets, or maybe go Sri Lanka way and say enough is enough. We are tired of this madness. Michael Kimani is saying, what agreement? And the guy is selling us. Man, the guy is selling the whole country. He's selling everything. From the parastatals, now the cheetahs. Now he's even giving lands to Indians to come and build their companies right here. But you as a Kenyan, your land is being grabbed by the same government. This is crazy. It is crazy. Right now they're even signing deals of the maritime in the Indian Ocean. You know how far is India from Indian Ocean? How far is India from Kenya? Very far. Where is the conversation even? Where did the conversation of the maritime came in? And this is so crazy because Kenya is not working with any other African countries. It is always working with these people from new continents, from different continents, just to make sure that Kenya is disabled. This is crazy, man. It is crazy, but it is up to us as Kenyans. It is up to us as Kenyans. Until we've had tired enough, I believe we can go and demonstrate to those streets. We can wake up and decide to go to the Sri Lanka way. No matter how many troops will be deployed in the streets, I believe we are many more. We are so much more than the troops. It is up to us. I agree with you. It is up to us to say to him out. I agree with you, Michael. This one, it's up to us. And Gachagua was, today early in the morning, I was talking about Gachagua talking about people to elect President William Ruto in 2027. And I'm like, you guys, you're even planning and you've started campaigning about the coming election that is coming in the next 3 years, while you are keeping Kenyans impoverished, while you are keeping Kenyans, even they are almost going insane. Everything is high, the cost of living, the cost of everything is high, but you're talking about the coming elections or 2027 election. This doesn't make sense. It is so crazy. But Kenyans, you know what? This is up to us. Until we wake up and realize that now we are tired of this. We are tired of this and decide to go maybe the Sri Lanka way, maybe the Niger way, maybe whichever way will work, but we need a revolution in Kenya. We need to say no to this madness. We need to say no. It's enough. You're waking up, your house is being demolished just because the government has grabbed your land only to give the Indians. Michael is saying, I think we should be serious about this matter. He will put us to poverty. He has already done it. Loans from India, from the IMF, from the Chinese, from the central bank. Yet, he promised you very well, in December, we shall be able to start paying the loans we owe the international lenders. Yes, paid Kenya Seeds. Kenya Seeds, I believe it's going to be owned by an Indian, because why is he telling Indians to come and venture in agriculture in sector in Kenya? I believe the next time we are hearing the Kenya Seeds, the Moya rice mills will be owned by Indians. The sugar cane will be owned by Indians. This is so sad. It is so insane, Manze. This is so bad. I hope Kenyans, we are seeing this. I hope we are hoping to wake up, or we are ready to wake up. Because, man, this is crazy. Our country is being sold. And today I was telling Shumani in the morning, back in the days, we used to hear our parents telling us, can you turn on the news? Maybe they are selling out the country, or maybe they have sold out the country and we don't know. And we thought it was a joke until right now. Until right now, we are waking up, the parastatals are being sold. You know, it's like our parents were seeing this coming, because I remember my mom used to say this, and I can remember how she used to say this in the mother tongue. That is what she used to say. And right now, it's like the country is going the same way. It's like they have sold out the country. And we used to think this was a joke. We used to think that our moms are funny, our parents are funny, until right now you wake up to new things, crazy things of your country being sold. You know? It is so crazy. Michael Kimani, you're saying rector leaders. These puppets need to go. They need to go, man. This is so bad. They need to go. They need to go. We need to have leaders. We don't these puppets. We are tired. I believe we are tired. And the moment we are all tired, I believe we're going to take it into the streets. But anyway, family, we are coming to the end of our show for today. I'm hoping that my fellow Kenyans are going to see this and wake up and realize that our country is going. Yes, if we don't wake up, we need to realize that our country is going. And we need to now wait and see if we are not willing to wake up. But anyway, family, much love. Asanteni sana for keeping it the Black Hot Fire Network. Thank you to all those we had on YouTube, even though you decided today to become silent listeners. Asanteni sana as well to all those who are with me on TikTok, to all the silent listeners who are with me on the radio station. I hope you did get to enjoy the show, and also thank you to everybody who interacted with me. Michael Kimani is saying out Ruto, out Gashagwa, man, they need to go. And also you're saying ata afadhali nganga ufukuza washirika wake. manze. But anyway, much love. Hope to see you later in the streets of Rongai. I'll be back with the word of the streets. Enjoy the rest part of your day. See you tomorrow early in the morning on the Vibe Show, and maybe late night in Mombasa. Mombasa, we are coming. But anyway, family, kwaheri, see ya, and enjoy the rest part of your day. This is okay. Let me go back to Nikushike Sauti Sol, and I hope you get to jump onto it.
Greetings and salutations, Master Andrew Robinson, all the way. Turn off the lights, pretty baby. Black Fire Radio. Put on some baby.
Get loud, son. Some sauti so Nimeshikana mahanja wamepanda mahanja.
Let me whisper in your ear.